So once upon a time, they moved England to Southern California. They wanted to film the movie Wuthering Heights. It was 1938. World War II was coming. They needed a place to film, so they came to Thousand Oaks, California. They brought in some farm animals, heather, that being the plant heather. These days, the set has been pretty much covered over by concrete, parking lots, buildings, trees, all kinds of stuff. Now, there are some locations for this film shoot that didn't get covered up. One of which is a scene that keeps popping up throughout the movie where Kathy and Heathcliff keep going to this secret cliff location. I spent several months looking for that exact spot. Is this the spot I've been looking for? More on that in a second. First off, I want you to meet the Olsen family. This picture taken in 1905. They owned a farm in Thousand Oaks. Samuel Goldwyn gave him a phone call and said, "Hey, I want to film this movie on your property." So Hollywood set up shop on their farm, built this creepy looking mansion. Now, once they were done with filming, they tore the place down, never to be seen again. Now, this original set was at the corner of Moore Park and Olsen Road, sitting on top of a hill overlooking California Lutheran University. Now, in this scene here, I want you to focus on the background. That is Lincoln in the background, kind of. It's a mountain that looks like the face, a profile of Lincoln. There's the forehead, nose, chin. Now Lincoln's going to help us identify different things as we move throughout the set. The pictures I've taken here in 2026 for comparison are not taken from the exact same spot. They are pretty close though, within 100 or so yards. For the filming, they brought in all these farm animals. They brought in heather plants, which were not native to the area. Of course, you can buy those plants at, the local home improvement stores now, but in the wild, if you find some heather plants, they could be originally from the filming of this. Now, some of the areas, they haven't really changed much. You can see here, it's almost identical. I left this side by side in right here. Not sure the exact match or not, but you can be the judge. Okay, from here, I'm going to take you to the other side of the valley. I'm going to put you right down at the bottom of that little butte there. And this is the access point to get to those areas. They have trails, a couple of different access points you can take if you want to hike on in. Take a look at these sets. So right off into the distance, into the background here, is where a lot of the outdoor filming took place. Just right on that ridge there, down below it. There's the crew there getting ahead of me. They filmed a ton of movies and TV shows over the years here. Matter of fact, 1958, exactly 20 years from the time they filmed Wuthering Heights in 1938, they filmed Stanley Kubrick's Spartacus, exactly a couple hundred yards just north of here. You can tell by the landscape here in the background behind me, very similar. Most of the outdoor scenes for Wuthering Heights were filmed in Thousand Oaks. All of the indoor scenes were filmed in West Hollywood, 7200 Santa Monica Boulevard, also known as Samuel Goldwyn Studios, later known as The Lot. All right, so we've reached our destination here. I've been to about 4 or 5 times already. Took me that many times to match up this because, well, it was confusing at first. Some of the details look different between the shots, so it took me a while to figure out. Here's the location, and I'll get to some of those complications in just a moment. But this shot is what helped me figure out the location. That big rock there on the left, and look at the ridgeline up top as we zoom into 2026. And here's a side-by-side. And now here's me recreating the scene. It's Mark Wheeler as Sir Laurence Olivier as Heathcliff. Unfortunately, unlike Sir Laurence Olivier here, I was not able to convince Merle Oberon to meet me at the top of the hill. I've been calling him Sir, but he didn't get Sir till about a decade later, then eventually became Lord. What made this location tough to identify was that some of the scenes that were outdoors were filmed indoors. In particular, some of the outdoor scenes at night were filmed in a studio indoors here. As I found this photo, it shows them filming indoors, the nighttime outdoor scene. Here's that scene as it appears in the movie. Now, if you've seen the movie, here's where things got a little weird is, spoiler alert, they go off to heaven. Now, this scene was tacked on because they wanted a happy ending. So they actually hired some actors that were not Merle Oberon or Sir Laurence Olivier to recreate their parts as they head off into heaven. Now, this next scene here, I know, was filmed on location in Thousand Oaks, as it matches up pretty much perfectly. This is the scene where they go and collect some heather plants. They really wanted to show you the heather here, as you can see. They disappear into the plants. Now this next scene, I'm not sure if it's a blooper, if they ran out of footage that they needed. Here's Heathcliff as he watches Kathy come running up the side of the hill to meet up with him at their secret place. But look at the little dot in the middle of the screen here. You'll see, yeah, right there. Who's that? He's already at the top of the hill. Why is he running up the hill? And there he's coming, running up the hill. Even he's like, wait, what? There's a comparison shot again. I've been at Home Goods all day long. You've been up here at the top of the hill? God. Now this photo here, the black and white on the top, is one of the very few pictures they have of the original set. Now you can see the chimney right on the far left there and the ridgeline of the mountains. Now we're going to have a close-up here of those chimneys. This is a different photo. It's a close-up of the original mansion here, and you can see the smokestacks. There's a close-up of it. The crazy thing is I had looked at this black and white photo for a long time, could not figure out where it was, realized I had snapped a picture of this. I noticed the edge of the hill right there. I'm pretty sure I'm in about the same spot as the original photographer was at. Looks pretty close. It kind of makes sense. It kind of looks over the area pretty well. The other photographer probably thought the same thing. Now the building in front of me there is a senior center. In front of us, Moore Park Road. To the right, the YMCA. To the left is the church.
As you might expect for a movie that was made in 1938, none of the cast members are alive anymore. The two kids that played Heathcliff and Kathy, that's Sarita Wooten. She was born in Cuba, by the way. She spoke Spanish and English. Rex Downing, he lived all the way till 95, only passed in 2020, fairly recently. She lived to be 90, passed away in 2018. Now you got to wonder if the two of them kept in touch, kind of like their characters did.
We use no AI for our feed. All the pictures, all the voices, all the music is all human. Follow us for more.